All right, Bo, what's on your mind today?
I've been observing a lot of things, and I think if we can get to the root, that would help everybody kind of fundamentally understand where we're coming from. I think we need to talk about human capital. All right? Three, two, one. Greetings, family. This is your brother Antoni Bo. Welcome to the Antoni to Bo Show. Thank you for hanging and banging with us, coming back again to test us out for your viewing and your listening pleasures. Hopefully, this will be nourishment to your soul. We want to implore you, ask you to rock with us. Press the like button. Thank you for your viewership. Share, subscribe, do all those things. Also, listen for us on your podcasting platforms where you can listen to us where you don't have to look at us. You can just hear us through your earbuds, and you can be jogging through your neighborhood or, on the elliptical or whatever you do. But I appreciate you coming to hang with us once again. In that, we're back. We want to give a shout out to all of those who are behind the scene with the Shades of Unity PDX crew as we continue to grow in this thing. Be patient with us. We're hoping for this thing to blow up worldwide because we know this is nourishment for all. And that's what we want to make sure you get. We want to make sure you leave out of here and understand that all this that we speak about and we talk about is universal language. Universal language. This is not tribal language. This is universal language. But since we have been segregated into tribes, what you got to do, you got to take the universal language and you got to take it back to your tribe. Be a leader. And bring it back to your tribe. And then disseminate it through your tribe and cross-examine it through your tribe. And let's see if this is nourishment or this good food for all the tribes. I believe in every tribe you got to eat to live. And I can say without a doubt this is good food to munch on. Feed your mind, and the rest will follow. Have a willing mind and the rest will follow. But today, I think we want to talk about human capital. I study now. I haven't, I didn't start out like this, but, I look at, your YouTubes and your different social media dealings, looking at podcasts and seeing, how this thing works. Because I'm new to this thing and, seeing how it's done and maybe take some pointers and then bring my uniqueness to what we do. But I will say again, moreover, we're just in a damaging place. It's like we don't understand what's good food anymore pertaining unto these podcasts. And it seems like everything on these podcasts is geared towards rivalry and fighting and backbiting and boasting and who's the best and who's not and who's this and let me tell you why you are not this and at the same time it'll boast me up telling me that I'm that. And so it made me think of in all these different directions that the people go, all we're talking about is human capital. Whether we are encouraging somebody or we're trying to strike rivalry with somebody, it's all done by the motivation of human capital. You'll hear us say that America is the richest country in the world. And if you take any land or any nation in the earth, the question is what defines wealth? And what defines wealth naturally is natural resources. Wealth comes from who has the natural resources. The resources is determined by what is useful for the human family. And in that, it's natural because we can farm it from the earth, right? And so if we can farm it or mine it from the earth, and then it's resourceful to us and we can use it, the question is, how are we using it? So you hear me say, moreover, there's a difference between what is necessity and what you want. And so a resource would start at necessity. And when it starts at necessity, that means everybody can use this thing. Matter of fact, it would even be that much more capital in it when we understand that everybody can be a consumer for what this resource is because it's a necessity. Everyone needs it. But then at the same time, what you end up seeing is a lot of folks in the earth, they take advantage of that and they create a want or a greed within themselves off of that same definition, which is, well, look, everybody needs it. For example, this is a want thing. This is not necessarily a need thing, but how the earth functions now, it seems like the majority of everybody drives, right? It's transportation, and we that's how we roll on the streets and we get from A to B. I was thinking, why would we have so many folks driving, or even, let's say, flying on an airplane? You know, like it's high peak flight season. Why would they raise the prices of gas then? Or raise the prices of plane tickets then? If you have more people who's connected to the resource, it would seem that you would then get your capital regardless. Without having to raise the price and to price gouge them, you would get it regardless because the resource is a necessity. And all have to participate in using it. But we see, what do? We have more coming in to consume, we raise the price because that's a want. The want is greed, and now we see the opportunity, we see the purpose of, or we see the opportunity to capitalize. And we have this many numbers coming through the door to consume, so let me raise the price, and in that I can make double my money. But when we do that, we start to disenfranchise many, and not only just disenfranchised, but they're disenfranchised concerning that which is of necessity. So when you disenfranchise people concerning unto necessity, but yet we're here on the earth and we know we need, then what we do, we start fundamentally redefining what is necessary or necessity to us. See, necessity starts at a place that is universal for everybody living. It's a point of contact where everybody can relate. But when we start to bring greed and want off of necessity, and we start to capitalize on this greed, and then it starts to disenfranchise me, and then from there I start to look at it and I think like, okay, man, well, maybe I need to redefine what is necessity to me because I can't afford that necessity. So I have to redefine another necessity. do I say all this? Because this is what it seems like is happening when we deal with race and cultural awareness, where everybody is choosing their different baselines of necessity. And what may feed you fundamentally is not the same that feeds me fundamentally, but it only started happening like that because we start to compete with something called race. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. Next thing you know, I might see moral ground that then is performed, moreover, or is hijacked by a tribe that then have done the hijacking so much it makes it seem like it's perpetuated, like it's their foundation, their necessity. It seems like it's theirs. And because I have always been disenfranchised from them, now what normally, just in a normal circumstance, I would understand that that is my necessity and that is at the baseline of me, I start to deny it. And next thing you know, I start to shun it, but I shunned it not because I don't really need it. It's because I have been disenfranchised from it. You know what race does? I'll tell you what race does. It's like a tribe reaches up into the sky and grabs the sun, S-U-N, and puts it in its pocket that it may just shine where its tribe lives. And at the same time, now have taken it out the sky and has disenfranchised everything that the sun would provide, necessity's sake, have now taken it away and disenfranchised every other so-called tribe. And so now, if the sun provides light and it's been taken, now all the other tribes, what do? Well, I need to provide some baseline of necessity for myself. Well, what am I going to do? All right, well, my baseline or my foundation or my necessity now is going to be darkness. If it provides heat and you take it for yourself, well, my DNA tells me I got to provide myself with some type of baseline. Well, I can't have that. So it provides heat. I got to provide some type of baseline for myself. Okay, well, my baseline is going to be cold. Freezing temperatures. And what it does, it builds a division line between those who were one in necessity to begin with. So then when you come back around and you may actually happen to run into each other, then you wonder, why are you all not walking by the same rule or on the same page? You start thinking, why is it that we know to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem, but these over here are not? Well, wedge start to be built. And hoarding of this claimed necessity is now just pointing at a tribe. I'm going to tell you something real good. I don't know if you ever have known this, but I'm going to tell you something real good. I cannot remember in my life where when somebody says the word America, the first thought that I did not think was that means white. First. And then every other tribe after that. but it means white first. Then you say, well, what is white? Well, yeah, good question. What is white? And you want to know why that's a good question? Because it was folks called British, Italian, Spaniard, Swiss, Czech, where else can I go? Irish, German, right? You got all these different tribes or nations. And then all of a sudden, an agreement of necessity or bonding of necessity came together, and they all agreed to come together. You ever hear about when they say, oh, when the Irish first came, they were treated like this. Or when the Italians came, they were treated like this. Okay, right? All that, right? But once we came up, I didn't even know those words no more. You know what I knew them as? This overarching umbrella term called white. And then that overarching term called white, I remember going to the map in my classroom and trying to find where that tribe, which would be nation or country, trying to find where that was on the map. And getting very frustrated because I never could find where it was on the map. What we have done, we have killed off natural resources that can teach us a real good natural lesson. What do I mean? All of us come from the same origin. But how we grow from that origin or multiply ourselves or express ourselves from that origin, there is diversity within that. Let's just even start with the physical. From shades of hues in the people. All of us come from the same origin. Listen, it ain't nobody alive that didn't come here the same way. The same way. Y'all remember what I told you? Remember what I told y'all? Do y'all remember? Remember I told you to go ask your dad about that Banaka spray? It's probably about 50 years old now. It was green at first. Now it's probably brown. But go ask him about it. We all got here the same way. Seeing that we got here the same way, we all had the same necessity. But then it makes kind of sense what happened in the intermediate as we grew, because naturally that's what ends up happening. But we chose how to study it wrong, because when you look at it, we all grow at different paces. We all grow, end up with different faces. We all grow, we got different hues. We have different hair textures. You can have twins, and each twin will have DNA alike, but then have its own DNA. Everybody has their own. Look. Everybody alive has their own blueprint and then the same blueprint. Everybody alive. And then instead of studying that, letting the blueprint, natural resource, human capital, the study of it become our wealth, what we did is we wanted to be the fruit too soon instead of studying the root. We want to eat. We didn't want to be patient and wait for the food to cook. We was too hungry. and we wanted it now. Man, microwaves came out in 1975. Nah, we've been microwaving since day one. We have not waited for the food to be identified. Look, you can either plant the seed. No, let me take that back. Let me even go before that. Even before you plant the seed, you got to turn the ground over, get the ground prepared for the seed to be planted. You know, we got another episode where we said unto you, fertilize your dirt. Do you know the natural fertilizer? We said it to you before. Do you know the most natural fertilizer is? The natural fertilizer. And I'm not talking about going and adding anything to the dirt. The most natural fertilizer in life is you taking an instrument and you digging it in the dirt and you flipping the dirt over. Just turn it over. That's the most natural fertilizer. Well, how is that the most natural fertilizer? Well, you're taking that which didn't have oxygen, and then you're bringing it around and you're aerating the ground. And through the collaboration of the seed and the ground that is going in, all that seed needs is some air, some oxygen to collaborate with it. The next thing you know, you can get your crop going. Next thing you know, seed planted. Next thing you know, you're watering. Next thing you know, you're pruning. Next thing you know, here comes your crop, the fruit, the produce. All your labor is being shown in every step. Then, for you meat eaters, you raise your food, raise your little animals, and then you do the same. But all of it comes through the motivation of necessity. And we start in the same place. Our problem is we tried to run before we walked. Remember I told you we airballed at integration? And the reason why we airballed at integration is because you looked at the proximity of integration. You didn't understand what the proximity was. Here it is, your natural eye look outward, you're looking at somebody else and you're mean mugging them, but the first proximity that you should have been paying attention to were yourself. You got a collaboration going on in you. Yes, you do. What is that? Your mind think it. It's your idea, your will. And then from there, you have the ability to put your efforts or your labor behind what you were thinking to go fulfill it or achieve it. And that's the collaboration that you got to work on from day one. Now, even when you're a child, you can just cry with the will, but you don't have the power to achieve it. And what do you got to do? You got to cry for what purpose? You got to depend on somebody else. When we want to run and microwave this thing and run and eat the fruit so quickly, you don't want to depend on nobody else. You want it right away. And since we did that, we lost so much teaching, so much study of natural resources. You're like, man, you sound like you ranting, man. What you talking about, man? Man, I'm talking about a natural resource that starts with you. You're not studying you. That's what I'm talking about. You thought you had me, huh? You thought you had me, huh? No. I say it like my guy, hey, I'm not talking too fast. You just listening too slow. You'll catch up. Sometimes we'll say some things, you ain't getting it at first. You just hang in there. You'll get it. It'll come around. Look, you ever see the 400 meter? First 200 meter coming. You're just going. Then get to the 300. Then it twists around that corner and you get into the last 100. You like, there it is, the finish line. That's right. This will come around. You just hear it, you come around. The study is in you. And with the study being in you, you have to be patient and wait for the preparation of the food or the preparation of the fruit. You know, just pop out of your mother in the hospital, 6'5", 300 pounds. You start small and you grow big. You got to learn yourself. And in learning yourself, that's how you extract and understanding the necessity. Because what would necessity be? That would be the root. And when you study it in proximity from the root on up, then you're able to give a good testimony and story of how does this food come to being from the root to the fruit. You get it? You can talk about it from the beginning all the way to the end. Now you got some good understanding of how this thing works. Now you have some good understanding of what human capital represents. Now you have a good understanding of, hold on, man, if I see someone microwaving too quick or trying to eat the fruit before it even buds, the seed buds out of the ground, hey, I get it. I've been there because I know how this works. Instead of you talking about, oh, how are they able to do it? How dare they do? How are they able to do that? I can't believe it. What you mean you can't believe they doing that? All you got to do is study you. Study you. You can believe it because you did it. Be as goofy as you talking about, I can't believe my children did that. What you mean you can't believe your children did that? That was you. What age are they? 18? That was you. You want a mirror? It's your children. That's you. Let's not get so high-minded where we start having not having appreciation for the journey. The journey is the blessing. The journey. All right, you can see the fruit is ripe. Is this that? Okay, that's good. But it's a story behind that. This ain't about just looking good, looking attractive. It's a story behind that. You do know that fruit it started in the dirt, right? That's why we tell you to fertilize your dirt, right? All right, you say you love that beautiful appearance. Matter of fact, you done forgot about the whole story. So if you learn how to fertilize your dirt, fertilizing your dirt just represents you studying your life experiences. Your life experiences. And what is coming up out of the dirt. This is your dirt, people. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. This is the dirt. This is your earth. And what comes up out of it is going to be the fruit. So you have to study your experience. And this is what's so wonderful about it. This is so wonderful about it. You can study it whether it be triumph or if it's failure. You can study it and get some good teaching out of it. But to my sad regret, we're not looking at human capital like that. We're looking at ourselves as take the sun and put it in our tribe's pocket. I want to be the fruit out of the gate. Not waiting for it, not understanding when the seed is in the farmer's hand, you know that it's a fruit, right? It just hasn't developed yet. But it's a fruit. So with that being the case, now we have this microwave type of generation from day one in the earth. And now everybody. Now, here's my question to the whole earth. Are you going to get back to the necessity and how the blueprint of human capital is to function from day one? Or are you going to follow the lead of those who have put their desire or their wants before necessity? Because if you do that, then you're going to follow. That's what it be getting me. I'll be looking at these podcasters. And let me share this real quick. I'm going to just share this just real quick. I grew up in a black community. And one thing about growing up in that community, what I learned real quick was a lot of people did a lot of wrong things, right? And I used to hear about I used to see a lot of elders correcting a lot of those wrong things. And I remember when somebody was getting on somebody, I remember one time I was laughing that an elder was getting on them. And in me laughing, thinking this to my enjoyment and, getting a chuckle out of it, the elder turned to me. Don't you be laughing at them. That can be you too. And I'll never forget it. When I'm looking at that, I'm not using that for my entertainment. I should be using that for my entertainment. I should be using that to reflect on myself. But to my sad regret, in this land, everybody is looking at everything wrong. They're looking at that's them and that's not us. What do you mean it's not you? And then if you see it's them, why is it that you do that? If you say it's not you, then why would your hope be that they get it together and they clean it up and they get back to a right standing? Way too much rivalry, way too much sun in the pockets of a tribe. And if you hijack it, what do you expect the necessity to be? We got this word called inherent. People really believe that now. Oh, it inherently comes to us. No, you inherently wicked. Somebody told you was inherently good. Let me show you how you inherently wicked. To be inherently good, wouldn't you have to know how to guide yourself? I tell you more, man, my grandson, hey, go buy my grandson a Dollar Tree ball. Go buy him that. He'll play with that ball all day long. And then let that ball roll into the most busy intersection in the city during rush hour traffic. He'll run out into that intersection with tunnel vision and blinders on, and he'll just be focused on that ball. Meanwhile, all type of Fords and Chevys and diesel trucks and Bentleys and Mercedes and everything else is zooming down the street, ready to smack them into the heavens. And all he'll be is focused on that ball. Why? Because he lacks experience. He has tunnel vision. Experience and teacher of experience start to expand your vision. How can I see if you hoarding that sun into your tribe? That's the other thing sun do. It gives light. So how can I see? You ain't no better than me. I'm no better than you. We all of the same tribe. We got different manifestations of how it express quite naturally, but we all come from the same blueprint. Until we understand that. See, when I understand that, I let nobody come around me speaking anything different than that. We all come from the same origin, and from being from the same origin, all of us can learn from all of our human capital. Because all of us have the capability and potential to hold natural resource. I think we're going to leave it right there. Give you some good homework to think about. I ain't been around for a minute, so, figure that kind of southpaw you with the left and hook you real quick. Get your jaw tender real quick. Give you some words to pay attention to and to think by. Again, we appreciate your listening. We appreciate you coming back. Be expecting me to go in, because the earth is going crazy, y'all. And the direction is going crazy. So we have to have words that will penetrate that. So in that, we hope you're doing well. I want to give a shout out to Pops. Hope you get better. Pops B. Hope you get better. And again, we'll end it like this. Integration is achieved by proximity. Centuries of defining proximity wrong is why we aren't neighbors. What do neighbors mean? Human capital. Hey! Peace be.